Darby and
Kaylee.
and we are going to show you kind of ideal seat positions in cars, okay? And so this is Kaylee's default mode. This is the classic young person driving position. I'm going to show you the old person approved and also chiropractic approved, okay? And then you can decide what works best for you, but just so you guys know how you're best protected in an accident. Then also this is a posture a lot of people are in for at least an hour a day, so we want to do it well, okay? So this is for default mode. You can see how her back is just a touch away from the seat at the top. She's reclined back. Put your hands on the steering wheel for me again. And so that steering wheel is just a bit far away, okay? So what happens if she's getting an accident, she's gonna get into a locked arm position, and then that's gonna be really challenging on the wrists and elbows. Also, again, when the accident's consideration, if you look at her head, it's actually a little bit away from the headrest, which we don't like. And so we want to see the bun off while we're driving, and we want to see the head touching, okay? Because when she's driving and looking around, she's actually going to lean further forward. And what that's going to do is it's going to cause more issues, again, if she's in an accident, someone gets struck from behind, okay? Keying in on the lower body here, so that you're going to have to play with this, and not everybody can do this. And in cars, this is pretty challenging, okay? But do you see how her hips are really low and knees up, and then she's pretty reclined in there? So you want to be as close as you can to an upright position. And so we want to see a bit more uprightness, and also try to see the hips level with the knees if we can. But this is a pretty low car, so I don't know if we'll be able to do that. And we're going to go through the ideal seat position. So we made some changes. We elevated the seat. Okay, so we got that quite a bit higher than position one. That's going to give her better visibility for the road. It's also going to help her in her hip to knee angle. We want to get that as flat as possible. And in low profile cars like this one, there is going to be hip below the knee typically, but we want to minimize that. And then we're going to play with this seat angle. We're going to lift it until it starts to lift her legs, and then we're going to back off down so it supports. Secondarily, we also got her a lot more upright, because we want the whole spine in contact with the seat and the headrest at all times. If you are reclined, tipped back, and then you're leaning forward, you're not in full contact with the seat. So if someone strikes you from behind, the car relative to you is going to move forward, and you're going to get slammed into the seat. You're going to compress all the seat springs, and then that's going to stop, and then you're going to get launched forward from the seat itself. And then that's going to launch you forward until your seatbelt cuts you off, and that's whip one. And then your chins get tucked down, and then your seatbelt's going to stop you really fast, and that's going to throw you back into the seat again. And now you got a full whiplash injury in your neck and upper back, and even your low back in those cases too. All right, and then so headrest, we just want to key in on that. We want to be touching that, and then we want to elevate the headrest as high as we can in most cases, and ever so slightly tilted forward. That way, if we're in a really bad car accident, we don't get launched into the roof. And we want that head touching the headrest at all times for the previous reasons we just mentioned. Like in car racing, they're going to be touching that headrest at all times, okay? Now, next thing we did was with the steering wheel, okay? And so before, she had to almost lock her arms to reach the steering wheel, so we're going to reach out and grab it again. Cool, so we want a nice bend and our arms. That way, if we get ran into, our arms aren't locked. That's going to protect our wrists, elbows, and shoulders. And then also we can absorb some impact with our arms. A good general rule is we should be able to roughly put our wrists on top of the steering wheel when we're in this position. So that's where the steering wheel should be. So modern day steering wheels are going to telescope in and out. So you just got to unlock that lever, and you're going to pull it around, and you're going to adjust it to that height. And then you're just going to lock everything in place as long as you can see the gauges and have good visibility. Another good rule of thumb for cars is you want to get this position, and then you want to set all your mirrors to this position, and this is your ideal. And so when you find yourself reaching to adjust mirrors, just know that you are no longer in your ideal, and you're probably been driving for a while, and you need to freshen up a little bit. So just wiggle around a little bit, and then get settled in that good position again, and we'll rock and roll with that nice, healthy spine.